It works for me. I don't know what's... Well, it's a pleasure to be back here at the University of Laverne. I have had the honor of being on the Board of Trustees for the last several years, and this is a great institution. I appreciate the wonderful turnout. Let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Mckergow.
Okay, thank you.
Mckergow. Mark is the director of the Center for Solutions Focus at work in the United Kingdom. So he is visiting here from the United Kingdom. He's developed a solutions focus approach into a worldwide movement in management, coaching, and consulting. He has 11 books that have been written he has several books that have been written in 11 languages, and the material is used in more than 30 countries, including a very sizable Japanese community. Is it going now? Coming and going? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right. Mark's career has taken him from being a physicist at the world's first commercial nuclear power plant to having a PhD in self-organizing systems. It's given him a deep understanding of very complex systems. Some of his recent clients include Nestle, the European Investment Bank, and British National Health Services. Mark is truly a Renaissance man. He is a member of Jack Canfield's Transformational Leadership Council. That's how I met Mark. He has worked on every continent except Antarctica. He's also a jazz musician. That's what I mean by being a Renaissance man. He's a jazz musician, plays the clarinet and saxophone. Mark is here today to set his ideas in a new and powerful framework called Rutenso. I think I pronounced that correct. Which is the art of thriving in times of constant change. I'd like to introduce Dr. Mark Mckergow.
Thank you very much, Ivan. Good evening, everybody. Just to say how fabulous it is to be here in Laverne, my very first time in this part of Los Angeles, and what a pleasant change it is to downtown. Okay, question for you. Think about the world of work, organizations, and people that you are learning about and that you have experienced. And remember, being at a college counts as the world of work, organizations, and people. Is this world basically like this picture here? A machine that you can analyze, finely tune, tweak, adjust, re-engineer, and work with precision? Or is it more like this? Our kayaking guy here. A world where change is happening, things are moving all the time. To stay still even, you have to work very hard. If you stop working, you're carried off with the flow. Two contrasting images. So let's see what we have. Who thinks the world of work, organizations, and people is like the machine over here? Okay. Who thinks the world of work, organizations, and people is like this? Put your hand up. Okay. Many of you. I agree. So why is it that so many strategies for organizational change and personal change are based on the idea that it's like this? That we can organize it, re-engineer it, make it work with precision, if only we were smart enough. And this evening's lecture is going to be about, let's forget trying to be this smart, because that's impossible. And let's think about what does it mean to engage with the world of work and organizations and people like this. And the good news is, actually it makes life much more straightforward once you recognize that this is what you're doing. And there are lots of strategies that I'm going to share with you quite briefly tonight that make use of this, that you can start using right away. So, let's see who's here. Who's a student at Laverne? Put your hand up, please, anyway. Fantastic. Excellent. Good. Who's on the faculty at Laverne? Give me a word. Okay. Sensibly spread out to keep order. Who here is a business owner? so far? Okay. Oh, good. Excellent. Who here would like to be a business owner someday? Okay. Who here would call themselves a manager right now? Okay, few. Good. Who here is from the state of California? All right, who here is from outside the United States? Okay. Who's seen me speak before? Okay. It's very important, so I know not to say the same jokes twice. Okay. So this is what we're talking about. Rutenso. Ivan said it exactly right. This is a Japanese word. And it's a word that I've come to in discussion with the Japanese colleagues that Ivan was speaking to yesterday. And this is the word for the thing that I'm trying to tell you about. In Japan, they have lots of words for change. Many, many different words for different kinds of change. And some of you will no doubt have heard of Kaizen. Yeah? These are the idea of lots of small changes that add up to something really big. Well, this is another Japanese word for change. Ruten. The first two of these characters, this one, this is ruten in Japanese. It's something quite similar in Chinese, but I can't say it. Basic meaning is the same. Constant and ceaseless change. Ruten is the Japanese word for constant and ceaseless change. And when you add the suffix so onto the end of it, it means, literally it means phases of constant change, but more poetically it means the art of working with constant change, or the art of thriving in times of constant and ceaseless change. The characters also work in Chinese, and no doubt there are some Chinese people in the audience who will, I hope, agree with me when I say these characters mean flow, turn, image. And there's also a meaning in Chinese of good fortune through constant and ceaseless change. This is also another nice idea. So, this is my word for the world of the kayaking guy on the first slide. But before we explore this idea, which is a philosophy or paradigm, it's a way of thinking, and there are lots of practical tools that come with this way of thinking, but Rutenso itself is a way of thinking. Before we explore Rutenso, I want to show you the other thing, because I have another Japanese word for you, which matches, which is called kotaizo. Now, kotaizo is working with a fixed idea, or a fixed word. So kotaizo is the word that we use to describe the world of the machine. And here are 6 applications of kotaizo thinking, fixed thinking to business that are quite common. Indeed, you may even have been taught them as part of your courses in some way. And they're not wrong, but I'm going to question them. So here they are. First of all, change is hard and unnatural. If you have a world that's like a machine, change is very difficult. You have to re-engineer the corporation. This is a very expensive, very long, very time-consuming, very difficult process. Right? That's the assumption that we make in a world of fixedness. You make progress by setting goals and targets. Everyone knows that. Strategic management 101. Set goals and targets. And then you identify and analyse problems. You have to understand the cause of a problem in order to deal with it effectively and lastingly. We all know this. Then, huge plans give huge results. If you want to make big progress, you better make a big plan. And really, 5-year plan. If we had the right plan, we would make progress, we would get the movement we want, and best of all, we want to eliminate uncertainty, because we hate uncertainty. Now we've got to be really confident that we've got the right plan. And finally, the role of the leader in all of this, the leader's role is to drive and exert and move people along with energy, passion, and impact. Okay. Now, none of that is wrong. But I'm going to suggest to you there are lots of situations where there are easier ways to make progress than that are more effective. So let's have a think now about the world of